West Ham return to action in a few mere hours. We're taking Manchester United to the London Stadium, and we need to get back to winning ways as soon as we possibly can. Last time out at the London Stadium, we did win against Ipswich Town 4-1. However, last time out in the Premier League, it wasn't a great day at the office. Of course, we're missing a player that has been pivotal to our forward attack line over the last season. Not so much this season, played out of position, many have said. But once one door closes, another door opens. So without further ado, I'm going to give you my predicted starting 11 for the game against Manchester United. So let's get cracking. We know, of course, the goalkeeper will be Areola. However, let's just briefly discuss him because he's definitely up there for a topic of conversation. And the topic of conversation moving into the summer is, do West Ham need to add strength in that position? Well, the blatant, obvious answer to that is I don't think we're going to renew Fabianski's contract, so he'll be gone at the end of the summer. And is Areola a West Ham number one? If West Ham are going to start playing from building up from the back, then he definitely lacked that in the Spurs game, being at fault. It's very rare that I would even target Areola, but it was very clear he was making errors. So put your comments in and let me know your thoughts. However, he will, in my genuine and sincere opinion, start the game against Manchester United. Over in left back, I think we're going to see the regulars in the back line. I don't see any changes there. I see what Lopetegui was doing at the Tottenham game, trying to bring three on at the back, but I don't think he's going to do that against Manchester United because I don't think the formation needs to change in the back line yet until he's tried and tested a few other things, because I think this back line, as much as we're leaking goals, it's not coming from, in theory, the back four. So Emerson comes in. I think he was not so great against Spurs, getting caught out of possession a lot, but I see him obviously maintaining his position in the first starting 11. Obviously, across the other side is Wan-Bissaka. What a signing he's been, and he'll be well up for this against his old club as well. Again, loves trying to prove points against the opposition. I've been really impressed with, obviously, Max Kilman this season, and alongside him in more recent days, or weeks, I should say, is Jean-Claire Todibo. I think they're getting better as the games go on, and I think it all depends on what West Ham do moving forward and with this team. And really, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty now of who I think David Moyes, Julian Lopetegui should play for this absolutely vital game. Vital 3 games. What an opportunity to try and get some distance between us in the bottom, but push ourselves up that league as much as we possibly can. So let's get into it. I've just gone simply for Alvarez sitting in that back four. And I'm putting it out there because I think it's something we want to see, and I think it's something that Julian Lopetegui may consider doing. Whether he does it for the Manchester United game or whether he doesn't, I don't know. But each week we've been calling for it, and each week we don't see it. But we don't need the double pivot. We do not need the double pivot. So for me, you need to have Alvarez sitting in front of that back four, protecting, doing his job, simply doing his job, and not having to step in as centre back. Not as much as he has been. It's fine if you're covering within reason, but not always there. Just do your job. I go back to the moment that we had Declan Rice, and when the one season before he left, he decided to progress forward, and all the West Ham fans were calling for him just to do his job, because his job he was very good at, and Alvarez is also very good at that. So you've got to keep him in that role. But will that leave us open? Will that let us all be overrun? Well, we can't afford to do the double pivot again because it's not working. It's going back to last season by sitting so deep, the low block, and it still didn't work. So it doesn't work. But I think, and people are calling for Lucas Paqueta not to stay in this team. But for me, until we've tried and tested a few other things in the midfield, he stays in the team because he's creative and he'll get stuck in as well. And the reason why he stays in the team is because the next player, I think, is deserved of a chance to at least start the game from the off. Hasn't hit the ground running, but I think he's got something about him. Of course, people will say, well, Carlos Soler was in the reserves for Paris Saint-Germain when West Ham signed him. But there was a reason why they stepped up the boat to try and bring him in, especially on loan. They tried to do some deal where they could get him on a permanent. That didn't work out in the end, but we've got him on loan, and I think it's time to see him against Manchester United that blow hot and cold each week. Watching them and seeing them play, like they're all over the place, and we've got a real genuine opportunity. But if we don't maximize our midfield, we'll be overrun again in our midfield. And these are the three players, in my opinion, that we need to play in the midfield. And it's the one formation with those three players that he's not done yet. It's honestly the one that he's not done yet, and it's worth trying. He's got to try it, in my genuine opinion. So far, put your comments in and let me know your thoughts on the team that I've mentioned so far. We all know Jared Bowen's going to go out on the right-hand side. That's no ifs or buts or maybes, but you've got some protection there. You've got creativity there when you've got Soler and Paquetá, who are ball-playing midfielders, ball-carrying midfielders. They hold on to possession, and they're looking for the penetrating runs. You've got Bowen, who is capable of doing that. You've got protection because Bowen will cover. He always does. He's got the legs to do it. He's got the trust in Wan-Bissaka, and you've got the switching of play as well. And on the other side, this is the opportunity we've all been waiting for. Cry Somerville, what a great opportunity for him to come into this team. And of course, we want our best players playing. Of course we do. Kudus playing week in and week out. And I think there's a place going to be in for the team when he comes back. But this is an opportunity for Somerville now to make his mark in this starting 11. And he's got minimum 3 games, probably more, to really make an impact. And I think he's definitely capable of doing it, and he is your full-blown left winger. Like, he is out there and he'll cut inside, and he's very capable on his day, and this is an opportunity for him to highlight what he is capable of doing. So touchwood, he brings that opportunity to himself. Of course, we don't have any Fulkrug, so Antonio will lead the line again, causing problems. We all know he can do on his day, cause problems. And I think when you look at that starting 11, what you've got is creativity, ball carriers, the ability to penetrate a pass through. You've got interchanging players. You've got to get players that get stuck in. What you don't have is a slow midfield, which is what we've been playing with all season. People will talk to me and go like that. You leave gaps open. I'm telling you what, we've been leaving gaps open all season, playing with a double pivot. We've been leaving gaps all season when we play with Rodriguez and Souček. We've even been having gaps open when we include Alvarez in the double pivot. Well, how about just taking him out of the double pivot and letting him do what he can do, because we know he can do it? That is my starting 11. That is what Julian Lopetegui needs to do for the starting 11. Join us for the Matchday Live. Hope you've enjoyed Russ's show so far. Matchday content. It's coming live from the London Stadium. I'll be giving you the rundown of the game, the commentary of the game, and we go live to the London Stadium after the game, of course, to give you our views, and you will get your chance to get your opinion across as well. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Please leave a comment if you're interested in becoming a channel member. Hit the membership option as well. Take it easy and come on, you.